Well, the 12-team college football playoff, of course, is set. Despite losing the ACC championship game, SMU got the at-large bid ahead of Alabama. Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State got the byes, with overall #1 Oregon facing the winner of Tennessee, Ohio State. Tone, what do you take away from the playoff field as it's set and matchups along with this past weekend's conference championship outcomes that led to them?
So you and I have talked about this incessantly over the past 6 or 7 weeks because I love this whole build-up, and you don't like the build-up. You like the end result.
Payoff.
I would not have done this. I would not have kept SMU and bumped Alabama. I would have compared their wins where SMU is 0-2 against ranked teams and Alabama is 3-1, including beating Georgia, the SEC champion, and beating South Carolina, which beat Clemson, which beat SMU. But you know, Mike, I'm not livid about it. I don't think it's criminal. I mean, Alabama had this terrible loss to Oklahoma, which is a worse loss than anything SMU had. And so it's okay, and I don't think you have to protect the field with a 3-loss team. I don't think you have to. What do I like about it? I like that Boise State is getting a bye, you know, ahead of Arizona State and Clemson.
Too.
And I'm expecting
the
ACC commissioner.
As well.
I know, but they're ahead of them. They're ahead of them. They're ranked ahead of them. I'm expecting the ACC commissioner and the Big 12 commissioner to whine about this like they've whined about everything else. Boise State has 1 loss, Mike, at Oregon, the #1 team in the country, by 3. They got a Heisman Trophy candidate. So those 2 other conferences can eat it for a while. I don't care about them. And the thing I like the most, and you'll appreciate this from where you grew up, somebody had the good sense to make one of these opening round games for the championship of the state of Indiana. That Notre Dame was going to play Indiana. And I think that's pretty cool. And I'm happy that they separated Georgia and Texas, because I don't want to see that again unless it's a national championship. I'm done with that.
Championship game. Yeah, Tony, I'm with you on a lot of those things. We talked about this on your podcast this morning. Shout out to my friend Jeff Nyanek for predicting to me on the phone Sunday morning that Indiana, his alma mater, would play Notre Dame if the committee had any sense of sort of theater and stage, and they did, and good. So I like that, Tony. Look, like you, I don't know what I would have done with Alabama SMU if I was sitting in the room and voting. I don't believe that you just have to say, oh, you know, the team that plays in the toughest conference, well, that means we got to take Vanderbilt because they probably have more impressive wins and they have more impressive losses just because they play in the SEC. So I'm not playing that game, and that's what I was afraid that was going to be played, and it wasn't. So let me commend the committee and apologize for suggesting all fall they would try to put a 5-loss SEC team in the field, because you know that's what I legitimately thought. I'm glad to be wrong. The matchups are weird to me. I mean, Penn State gets what appears to be an easier draw than Oregon.
Yes.
Now, that's not something the committee could take care of because it wasn't in their charge. This has to be fixed the next time around. They can do this next year.
I agree with that.
Look, Tony, 12 is too many. You shouldn't have to play 17 games in college football to win a championship, which somebody could have to do. I'm going to watch it all and be crazed and happy over all of it. It's too much. It's too many. It goes on too long. But we are a world and a culture of excesses, and so that's what we got. I'll enjoy it.
By the way, shout out to Clemson and to Dabo Swinney in this regard, that Clemson understands how to maneuver in a big game, and they had a big game.
They do.
And everybody put Dabo Swinney on the side of the road because of him and the transfer portal. So it's redemption for him. To a degree, it is redemption.